Hello again, Steve here with an idea I wanted to share with you along the lines of what I had talked about a couple of times over the last couple of weeks to do with marketing and how it is we set ourselves apart no matter what it is that we're doing in life, where we want to get other people involved with us, whether we want to find a mate, whether we want to start a business, whether we want to get customers, whether we want to get a job, whatever it is. So much of what we get in life comes through the participation of our lives, in our lives, with other people. So the question is, I guess, when people have options for who they're going to befriend, who they're going to marry, who they're going to partner up with, who they're going to have businesses with, who they're going to buy from, and so on, when they have options, their choices to some extent are based on a couple of things. One is that choice is based on something they know about. Like we could be the greatest whatever, the greatest, product, the greatest individual, the greatest potential friend and so on, but if nobody knows about us, we're not involving ourselves in a way that people could get to know us or find out about us or what have you, then that sort of is moot as far as those other people are concerned. They're not going to find us, right? So we have to stand out in some way. And then, of course, we also must deliver once they do find us. We must deliver what it is they're looking for in some way. And as an example of standout, I mentioned this before. I was in with my wife a few months ago back in San Miguel Allende in central Mexico, and there was a parade going by, and there was these big, tall, costumed individuals, like 16 feet high. It's a person standing inside of a little slit they can look out, but it looks like this. They have this structure above them that looks like a huge costume, right? So it's immediately apparent. Like everybody turns and looks like, wow, that's pretty amazing. But it's just entertainment. I mean, there's no real promise there or anything else, sort of thing. But in this message that I have, this idea I have, it's not really any conclusion. It's just hopefully meant to provoke questions within ourselves as to what it is that we're doing. So I'm gonna proceed here by putting this on, and I might have put this on in another video at some point. Now, if I have this on, aside from the fact that it looked ridiculous, and you can't see my eyes anymore now, and looked like some drugged out 70s rocker, uh, what do you think? Like, okay, enough of a pause. No, of course you think it looks ridiculous, but it looks a bit different. It's a bit catchy, maybe, or it's like out of the ordinary. If I was to walk by you on the street like this, you might wonder what the heck is that goofball doing, or whatever. But it's sort of like that statued individual in the street in San Miguel Allende. It just stands out a little bit different, right? But there's a couple things here. One is, well, I bought this a couple years ago at a dollar store at St. Patrick's Day, and it has the shamrocks on it, right? So there's a connection to me, a little bit of a connection to me, because my last name happens to be Irish in origin. So there's a bit of a connection there. But also, it's taller. It makes me look taller. And actually, from my understanding of it, the top hat, the origin of the top hat, has to do with that. It has to do with setting ourselves apart in a way. Like people, women typically wear high heels for one reason. They say it puts their ass on a shelf or whatever, but it tilts their pelvic area, or whatever, and makes it, it's a lot of the. Anyways, I won't get into that. But guys typically would wear more platform shoes. Short guys like Napoleon, whatever, they would wear platform shoes to try to elevate themselves a little bit, to set themselves up on a bit of a podium, right? Same with the top hat. The top hat gives extra height, and it sets apart in similar way that that statue, or that costume rather, walking by in San Miguel de Allende was taller than the others. So it stands out in a way. So that's a question that we can ask ourselves. What is our top hat? In fact, that might be the name for this. Good idea for the name for this particular video, maybe. Just a question. What is our top hat? What sets us apart for what it is that we want to do, right? We want to get that job over there. Well, maybe there's others who want it as well. What sets us apart, right? We want to get a certain kind of a date or a certain kind of a partner or whatever. What sets us apart for that, right? It's a good question to ask, because if we just wonder, oh, it's that person's problem or whatever, they didn't give me. It's like that entitlement idea that we often sometimes have. Oh, poor me, I should have gotten that. I should have gotten that job. I should have gotten that date. I should have gotten that business deal or whatever. That's all kind of poor me. But at the end of the day, people are deciding to get involved. Other people are deciding to get involved with other people for reasons. And if we don't know that, maybe it's because they're set apart in such a way that we're not. And sometimes it's not even about necessarily about competition. Competition is more like you're doing the same kind of thing, so you're trying to either outprice or whatever, but it's so similar. We can set ourselves apart as sort of like so unique that people will gravitate towards, at least look over there. So now we got the attention. Now can we deliver on that attention with the line? Like the fishing hook has got a line attached to it, right? What is the line that we have that's attached to the hook of difference to draw the people in? It can't be a physical line because it has to be voluntary, but and that's our message that we eventually develop to bring people in. And if that message remains curious, promising, and so on, then people will be drawn into that virtual funnel to eventually participate in what it is that we want people to participate in, so that we get the quality of life that we want. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? So the question is, what is our top hat? What sets us apart above the crowd as an option that people look at, see promise there, and want to get involved? Something to think about. Steve here again, great chatting. If you like what I'm doing, please like, subscribe, and share. Ding the bell. There's some debate as to whether that works or not, but by all means, comment in the box below, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.